Euro was good. Welcome back. I'm back with another video. You already know it's your boy Sheed. I appreciate y'all tapping in. And before I get into the video, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and get right. As you can see of the bullshit that I got on my screen, right? Today, we're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers, aka the process. Let's get into it. And if you don't know what the process means as a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers, then you've been living under a rock. But the process, the definition of the process is proceed and advancing a series of actions or steps taken in the right direction. Right? So as a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm trying to figure out what exactly is the process. Are we talking about the process of elimination every year in the playoffs, whether it's round one, round two? Are we talking about the process of driving your fan base crazy? What are we talking about here? I need to know. And excuse me if I pause a little bit. It's just the frustration. You start to think, you get in your own thoughts. You start thinking about all the madness, the drafted players, the wasted picks, the unnecessary signings of old veteran players that just don't got it. But let's get right into it, man. But before I do, I'm gonna need this drink. Hold on. That's a little ASMR for y'all, you heard? But let's get to it, right? So this quote unquote process started 2012, right? We drafted a young prospect by the name of Drew Holiday. Yes, we had some good prospects that was drafted, that was traded to begin this process. Drew Holiday had a pretty good, solid rookie season, 2012, 2013. I don't know all his stats, but I'm not going to get into every player that we drafted and the stats because then this would be like a 2 hour video of me ranting and rumbling. So I'm gonna save y'all ears today. Drew was traded to the Pelicans in exchange for some draft compensation, and from there we went ahead and started the process. We drafted Nerlens Noel and we drafted Michael Carter Williams. He ends up going on to win Rookie of the Year. From there, we get rid of him as well for more draft capital. Nerlens Noel ends up playing out whatever he plays out. I'm not too sure if he's traded or not, but at this point, like I said, I don't want to get into everything. 2014, we go ahead and draft Joel Embiid by a miracle at that, right? Because he ended up coming out of the University of Kansas hurt, and Andrew Wiggins was the apple of the Sixers' eye at the moment, but and then they had those injury concerns. Wow, look at that, injury concerns right before even coming to the league.
Oh, wow.
So we do that. We draft Embiid. I don't think he plays for like the first year and a half, 2 years. Injuries, not ready to come in. 2015, we go ahead and take another big man. like a versatile big man, Jaleel Okafor, and like I said, I'm not gonna throw shade on all the prospects because at the end of the day, it's the Philadelphia 76ers organization in general that made these picks, whether they were the right picks or the wrong picks, however you feel, it was the Sixers who made the last the choice on that. I'm sorry, but 2016 we go ahead and draft Ben Simmons, who was considered the best player of his draft class. 2017 we draft Markel Fultz. Now I got to get into this one because some of the things that I didn't understand with this young man is that he had all the tools. He was considered to be a James Harden 2.0, create his own shot. And then he comes to Philly. It's like we cursed when it comes to the Sixers. He comes to Philly and he forgets how to shoot. He forgets how to play basketball, bro. Like you wait your entire life as a child, especially in this instance that I'm talking about basketball. These players dream of going to the league. You get to the league and you just forget how to play ball, which is insane. It's crazy. So and then, 2018, we luck up and we draft Mikal Bridges, local prospect. I was happy about the pick, 3 and D type of player to stretch the floor, and you know what I mean. Plays with energy. That being said, guess what we do as an organization? Guess what we do? We trade him for some cat. That's an old head term. We trade him for some kid named Zaire Smith.
What are you doing?
Come to find out, this kid got all type of health concerns, peanut allergies. He going crazy. He got all type of shit going on. Ends up only making like 13 appearances. I had to look that up because I was frustrated. 13 appearances in game play here with the Sixers. So at that point, think about it. From 2012 to 2018, we only have one player to show for, and that's Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, I'm sorry. That's the only player we got to show for. We end up getting Maxi and everything in the long run, but then we get Jimmy Butler that year, 2018, I believe, mid-season trade, make a run. Then Kawhi Leonard broke not only Joel Embiid's heart, had him crying all over the court, but he broke every Philadelphia fan's heart. We thought we had a chance. That was the closest we've been. Game 7 against the Toronto Raptors. The winner goes on to play the Bucks. Crazy the Raptors end up winning that year. Raptors end up becoming NBA Finals champions. That being said, off season comes around, right? I'm not gonna get too hyped and get too crazy because, like I said, the fam is asleep. I ain't trying to make too much noise. And then I come down and then I get hit across the head with something in the dark. I'm gonna be seeing black. You feel me? Um, Not that I'm being abused. You feel me? I had to clear that up. But off season, Sixers make a decision. They keep Tobias Harris. This I'm just thinking about this off the top of my head. So if I miss out some key points, let me know. Comment below. You know what I mean? I don't know everything, but and then we get Tobias Harris. We pay him instead of paying Jimmy Butler. That following season is straight madness. Ben Simmons keeps dropping these summertime videos of him balling, but and then when the game when the season comes around, he's scared to shoot. Like what we doing here, man? Like, see where I'm going with this? The frustration can build up real fast. Cause like, what is it? Like, I get it. Excuse me. I get it. But when are we gonna hold the organization accountable? It's not only on the players, it's the organization as in whole. It's a general organization, bro. We've been having draft issues since the early 2000s. We didn't even know how to build around Iverson. Iverson solely, and that's when I love. I gotta change this off the screen here because it's making me mad. This is right here is when I love the Sixers. I still love the Sixers, but this right here, man, AI had the community of Philadelphia in a chokehold. You could go to any court in the summertime of Philadelphia, and it was going down. He made it cool to wear Reeboks. He made it cool to have braids. Like, look at this white boy. He grew his hair out just to get braids. Look at him. There was a culture thing. Like AI changed the culture. So, and then like Philadelphia's a historic city when it comes to sports, basketball, boxing, football, everything. Philadelphia is a major city that we got some ballers out here. That being said, it's just like we never built around Allen Iverson, and then we doing the same thing now. It's just like happening all over again. We don't know what direction this team is going. Like, where do we go from here? I have a question for y'all. Where do we go from here? I'm gonna have a few questions. Do we move on from Embiid? Do we give him another chance? Like, what goes on from here? Because as an organization, it's just bad decision after bad decision. Like, how do you allow your franchise player to play in the Olympics with injury history, knowing that we got to look at the bigger picture? The bigger picture is the NBA Finals. Like, are we ever gonna see a parade here in Philadelphia? Like, when it comes to the Sixers, like, bro, I'm trying to be out there getting a tan. You feel me? I don't give a fuck if I walk out with a jersey tan. I'm cool with that. Obviously, I might not have this joint on any longer, but come on, man, you get the message. I'm trying to be out there summertime catching the tan because we see how the city get for the Phillies when we won in October back of '08, '09. I believe it was '08, '09 we lost to the Yankees, but that's nor here or there. And then we seen the 17, and then this past February with the Eagles. You see what happens that we have a passionate fan base. So for all of y'all non-Philadelphians, non-Philadelphia fans in general, y'all do not understand the pain and suffering we have been through as a fan base. The loyalty, like we don't choose, like we don't in Philly, we don't pick teams like we're born into it. It's just like it's a culture thing in Philadelphia. That's why I don't understand people who grew up in Philly and become fans of other teams. That's for another day, though. We're gonna get into that another day. But I don't want to keep rambling. So, like I said, we go on and we continue to make bad decisions as an organization. Then we get right to it. Another bad decision. We bring in Paul George. And we're not talking about a young Paul George. I have nothing against him, but we're not talking about a young Paul George. He's already 30 plus, and I don't think it's a good. I didn't think it was a good fit. But and then everybody was giving Tobias. They was giving Tobias Harris like they was giving him hell. Like everybody talking about Tobias Harris this, Tobias Harris that. But and then and when you look at the side by side stats of Tobias Harris and Paul George, is there really a difference? PG was averaging 16 point what 16.8, 16.2 points per game in the 40 games that he played. In the 70 games that Tobias Harris played, he averaged 13.8, just about the same thing. What, 2.5 points difference? That's what we're talking about here. 2.5 points difference, but like a $300 million difference. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. Bad decisions. Start like we got bad habits as an organization. But then it's hard to even get excited, right? Because and then we have a protected 1 through 6 pick, meaning for those of you who don't know, I think it's a protected pick from OKC. If the Sixers land 1 through 6, they keep the pick. 7 and up is gone. So and then you've risked the chance of losing all these games this season. I'm not sure if it was on purpose by accident, but you shutting down once you start shutting down players mid-season, we already know what that's about. But like I said, then you risk the chance of not even being able to get a good player. Because if you land in 7, all the good players are gone 1 through 6. Then that seventh pick, you can't even do nothing with it. It goes to OKC. I'm not sure if the terms. I'm not sure what's the terms on or the terminology of the trade that took place. The trades and conditions, I should say, of the unprotected. What happens this year? What happens next year? I don't want to get too much into it, but all I know is that for this draft coming up in June, there's a big possibility that the Sixers might not even be drafting after losing all these games. And then what? Where do you go from here? So that's my next question. It's a I wouldn't say it's a dumb question, but I feel like it's a false hope. Like who do you want the Sixers to draft if we land 1 through 6? Obviously, one is out the question. If we land at 1, we should get Cooper Flag. But and then, sorry about that, the screen was a little glitchy. But and then, what happens? Like if there's no Cooper Flag, what do you do? Like what prospects is really out there? You know, I haven't even dug deep into the prospects of the NBA because I've been watching the NFL prospects, and I'll make another video on that. But y'all got to stay tuned and y'all got to tap in. But like I said, who would you want to draft if you land 1 through 6? This is just me ranting as a frustrated fan. Like what like bro, what are we doing? Does this process move on? Do we trade Embiid in the off season? Do we build around Maxi? Like what's gonna happen? So it's so many questions that can be left with no answer for a minute. We got to get rid of Paul George in that contract. That's a bad job, man. Like, and I'm not the one to hate and say I don't pocket watch nobody. You feel me? In general, I don't pocket watch. if somebody else is doing good in life, you know, I want that to good be. I want everybody to succeed and do good in life. But come on, man. When it comes to sports, like you gotta do your part as a player. But like I said, this is the problem that I'm having. And with that being said, man, I feel like me personally, I just feel like the process is over. I think it's just time to move on. And I could be wrong. Maybe Joel Embiid could prove everybody wrong, but what's the odds of that? Like, you bring him in for another season, and what happens if he only plays 30 games that year, 40 games? Like, when was the last time Joel Embiid played a full season? I don't think he ever did. And I defended Joel Embiid, and there's no hate on him, but I just think that the relationship on both sides is already fractured. And I'm not even talking about on the organization side. I'm just talking about as a fan, as the fan base, as a fan. I just feel like the relationship between the two is already broken. But I'm trying to go back to the glory days, like what you see here on the screen. I don't even know if you can call that glory days because but this was exciting times. Like AI took the Sixers to the finals by himself with Mutombo, Aaron McKee, like George Lynch. Like, you feel me? But with that being said, I appreciate y'all tapping in. I don't want to hold up more of y'all time. Make sure y'all comment below. But before I end the video, I gotta do it, man. This shit gotta come off, bro. Process is over. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta comb the hair. You know what I mean? I gotta comb the hair, make it look right. Can't be out here looking like a nut. Process is over.